I feel like for the hobby, the biggest news heading into opening day is the massive influx of top prospects who are coming up to the majors. I think going into spring training, I thought, okay, Riley Green, maybe Spencer Torkelson, Adley Rushman, and maybe Bobby Witt. But I thought even then, I was like, conservatively, I think 2 guys of those 4 make it. Julio Rodriguez wasn't even on my radar to make it out of spring training. I thought he was going to be like yeah. I thought it was gonna be like a late, like a May call up. I didn't, especially like with the Winker move. I thought that's a lot. That's a kind of a log jam in the outfield. But he's up. He's up. Torkelson's up. Green would have been up, but he got the fractured foot. Rushman probably would have been up, but he had the injury. And obviously, and Bobby Witt Jr. Of those 3, which is the guy that you think has the most potential to hold their value going forward into the season?
So I do want to say one thing first. So like it's awesome that they're allowing these prospects to be brought up day one. I think it's sick. Again, there still is dark area with that rule of like they need to be in like the top 2 in rookie of the year to like get that service time. So who knows if they stay up long term or not at the start of the season. I hope they do. But I was talking to someone on Twitter earlier today where it's like it's crazy how the baseball world is kind of, and especially the hobby, is kind of flipped upside down. How it's like right now the biggest thing is these prospects coming up, to where I used to be like always focused on like who's the best player in the MLB right now. So I think that's awesome. And then as far as Bobby Witt Jr., Spencer Torkelson, Julio Rodriguez, so I love all 3 of them. I love all 3 of them.
Yeah, who doesn't?
But I would say Julio Rodriguez has just been a different specimen in his entire career in the minor leagues. Like, I like Adley Rutschman a lot, especially because of what he brings behind the plate. But like, as far as just like ceiling, Julio Rodriguez is the highest ceiling of all of them. A lot of people say like ceiling of multiple MVPs, like Mike Trout-esque numbers. Wow. Like it's not a lie. Like last year he had his first touch at Double-A. He hit 362 with a 460 on base percentage and over 1,000 OPS in his first taste of Double-A. Like, he is a guy that if he hits his stride, which I don't see why he wouldn't. He's literally never struggled in the minor leagues. He's raking in spring training too. Like, he could be an MVP candidate this year if he plays the whole season. Seems to be that good. Like that good.
Literally went back in my seat. I can't believe it.
No,
I like him a lot though. I agree. And you know what? The thing going for him, I think for collectors, like the X factor, I think for collecting is like, do people like you as a person? Like, are you a marketable personality? And I think he is such a good personality from what we've seen. And the thing that was so telling to me is that, I can't remember if it was the president of baseball ops for the Mariners. I think you remember last year where he went and spoke at some sort of, God, the details are kind of escaping my mind, but he did not have very good things to say about like how the organization is run, and like that's weird things like, oh yeah, no, J-Rod's not coming up this year. We're not doing that because we're gonna push his value, and it's like you just like completely mask off, like just exposing what these guys do and how they penny pinch. And yet he like rolled with the punches. He was so good about it. He was funny. Like that to me, like the moment I saw that, I'm like, this guy, if he could put it together on the field, which clearly he looks like he's doing, this guy's the real deal.
No, yeah, like you said, he's marketable. He's extremely likable. Like I haven't seen anything where it's like, oh man, J-Rod's like a bad person. Like he seems like an awesome guy. And then his size is another thing that's going to help him long term. He is just a specimen. He's like 6'3". It's funny because Baseball Reference has had him listed at 180 for like the last 2 years. And I'm like, there's no way in hell this dude is a $180. And they finally updated. He's 228 now. So but his size is crazy. He's super athletic. Yeah. He can steal bases. Like Julio Rodriguez to me is that guy. I am kicking myself. Like I have one card of his that's like decent. I have a couple stuff at PSA, but I have his Mega Box Refractor PSA 10, which is like my J-Rod card. But like I'm kicking myself because I've been all over him since 2019. but I really didn't start buying singles, like, or at least higher end singles, until like 2020. And by that point, he was pretty expensive. So I was like, dang, like,
yeah, there was like
missed the boat.
there was a brief window where I think J-Rod's value was like pretty underrated, but yeah, that ship has long since sailed. Bobby Witt Jr., though, I feel like is going to get the headlines in the hobby. Like, I think that's the guy that we have sort of gravitated to. Like, you are the next chosen one. You're the next Wander. You're the next Lou Bob. Like, you are the guy who is going to take the flag away from them, and like, you're going to lead the pack. I really like what I see from him. But I don't want to say like the player himself. I think he's going to be a great player. It's just the mix of like the team he's playing for. They're not going to be as relevant. Whereas like the Mariners are going to be in a playoff hunt this year.
Yes.
The Tigers might even surprise a lot of people. And
Tigers are going to be good. Tigers are going to be solid this year.
I'm glad you said that, because I feel like I've been watching some previews and they're like, yeah, Tigers might make a little noise. No. Eduardo Rodriguez is going over there. Those numbers are going to go up. Green and Torkelson in that lineup. So I think they'll be good. But I think back to Bobby Witt for a second. I think, the thing that's going to hurt him here is just simply he's playing for KC. If KC could turn it around, maybe, but that's a third place team, maybe fourth at best right now.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I mean, Bobby Witt, he's a shortstop. That's the sexy position in baseball, right? Like, that is the pinnacle of positions, and I think that's why he gets, like you said, he's the chosen one pretty much. But he's also a stud. He's like a 5-tool player. He's super fast. He has a lot of power. Hands are super fast. Like, ridiculous talent. But like you said, he's on the Royals. Like, I don't get, like, why are his prices? I get he's an amazing player and his prices are where they should be based off his talent level. But like, there's so many players that have had this hype on worse teams and they haven't hit that pinnacle, I feel like, that he's at right now. And like you said, the Royals are going to be pretty, I don't want to say bad, but they're not going to be good. They're not going to be a good team this year.
Now they fancy themselves a contender, which is really weird, man. They're kind of you know what they are, and I know we're NL West guys, so I feel like they are the American League's version of the Rockies, where they think like, oh yeah, we can compete, but they're like putting together a roster every year that's 72 to 77 wins. Like, what are you guys thinking? Like, it's just weird.
They went out and got Greinke, which is cool.
That's a cool story,
roots, but like, their pitching's not great.
No,
it's relying on a bunch of young guys, and it just doesn't usually work. So, but yeah, Witt's legit. I do think he strikes out a lot. I'm curious to see if he cuts that down once he does hit the pro level. Sometimes you do see those guys struggle in the minor leagues and then figure it out at the high level. I have a couple of theories on that as to why, but no, he's a special talent. I'm super excited to see what Bobby Witt does. I have one big card of his.
Nice.
So this is the one. It's the purple Mojo PSA 10. So it's a nice card. I will say my worst sale as far as where are the cards at now. I sold his refractor auto, BGS 9.5 for $1,000. I think it's like hovering around like $5,000 now.
Yeah,
so, I
probably will go up.
I messed up on that one. That one.
You're not really in the hobby until you say that was a big L on my part for that one. I probably should have held on a little longer.
Yeah,
that's what it is. You roll the punches.
And yeah, exactly. And that's gonna happen in the hobby. I tell people all the time, like, anytime anyone's upset with something they did, I'm like, yo, it's gonna happen. Like, you can't avoid that in the hobby. It's like, if you hit everything right, then you're from the future. It's just. And it's not even that I thought he was a bad player. I just thought him being on the Royals, and I knew he was a good player, but like, I was $100 into the card. I hit it in a break actually, and then got it graded myself, and then I sold it for like $1,000. So I was like, I made like $900. So that's a win, right?
That's still a win. It's stay positive. That's still a victory. Absolutely. Yeah. For every guy, like I bought, I think prior to 2021, I bought Vlad Guerrero Jr. and Kyle Lewis, and balances out. Let's just say that things balanced out.
No, definitely.
Didn't work out. Back to the Tigers real quick, because Torkelson obviously is like a huge story. Riley Green is definitely the guy, I think, among like baseball pundits and scouts that I think they're really buying into. He looked really good at times this spring, but Torkelson is the guy I think for collectors that they're in on. First baseman, power first baseman, I feel like is so hit and miss in the hobby. Like for every Vlad Guerrero Jr., like let's just compare him to like his own teammate, Miguel Cabrera, who I think has really good value. Like it's like he's got a nice floor, but like his ceiling is not nearly what I think like a lot of Vlad's high end stuff, or like guys who don't have a Hall of Fame resume already. I feel like I have a higher ceiling than like Miguel Cabrera does, even though, like I said, like if you got a Mickey card, you're probably doing okay. Yeah. So that's the one thing that I guess that's holding me back with Spencer Torkelson, as much as I like him and I like his bat, you know?
So I feel the exact same way, and I'm a Torque guy. Like he went to ASU. I went to ASU. Like I watched him play a lot.
Your guy, yes,
he's my guy. He's my guy. But I have not bought in really a single card of his yet, because I just think it's overpriced. Because kind of similar to what you're saying is like first baseman power hitters. Most of the time their prices aren't great. Like go look at Freddie Freeman. He just won MVP in 2020 and his stuff is super affordable. And Torque is already outpricing him. And like Paul Goldschmidt, he's a big guy for me coming from Arizona. Like possible Hall of Famer once he's all said and done, had an awesome career, a couple insane seasons in Arizona. And like I have this card of Goldschmidt. It's the PSA 10 Diamond Anniversary.
Oh, beautiful.
And it's amazing. It's one of my favorite cards in my collection. But I bought it for like $300. Like that crazy of a card, how short printed that card is. I don't know what the pop is off the top of my head, but it's like
it's got to be
first baseman. Like it's a first baseman. Like it's just, you don't know. But as far as Torque goes, and I've watched a lot of ASU baseball. I've seen a lot of huge prospects come through there. Like he is the best college hitter I've ever watched. His approach is like, even when he was in college, I was watching him. Like I probably watched 20 games of his in person. And like, I've seen him chase like one pitch out of the zone. And it's like, jeez, wow, man, like how are you not swinging at these pitches? And his approach is insane. And like his power is next level, man. Like even yesterday, hit his first home run in spring training. It was 11 pitch at bat against Aaron Nola, who's one of the better arms in the NL. And it was even off the plate and he barely even got it. And it went over the bullpen. It was like, what the heck?
Jeez. I mean, yeah, that tells you everything right there. An 11 pitch at bat for a guy who's the rookie, and he hits a bomb off of an all-star level caliber pitcher in the major leagues. Yeah. Like, and he got drafted 2020. Like, this is a real, like,
insane.
This doesn't happen. Guys don't get called up this fast. Maybe the one thing going for him from a hobby perspective is he's the number one pick. And I think with that carries, like, you become a big number one pick. You enter this like pantheon of like Griffey and Chipper and A-Rod. Like you enter a different level where you're not, the position doesn't even matter. Like you are among like the elites of elites. So I think that if you're thinking it from that perspective, I think that's maybe the different angle to take if you're really buying in on Torque.
No, yeah, that definitely affects the prices. His stuff's expensive. Like I said, I'm just waiting. I don't want him to ever do bad, but if he does, I'll be buying everything. I'll be buying everything Spencer Torkelson.
I think best case for him is it's like he has maybe not best case for him, but best case for collectors, I should say. Maybe he has like a good but not great rookie year, and then his stuff goes low in the offseason, and then he looks like the guy at ASU next year, and his stuff just
so he did struggle a little bit in AA and AAA last year as far as just like consistent hitting, because he got thrown to the Wolves. He played like 30 games in high A, and they're like, here's AA for you, good luck. I think he hit like 260, but he still had like a 400 on base percentage, and he like not like mid 900s OPS, and then you're like, oh, here you go, here's AAA. And anyone that's their first year, like, you're not supposed to succeed in AAA. I think he ended up hitting like 240 with like, he still hit like 16 home runs or something, but like he definitely got thrown to the Wolves and still did pretty good. I mean, he hit 30 home runs in his first year hitting wood bat. That's pretty insane.
That is pretty nuts. So the guy is a special talent. I think we can agree. I mean, again, all these guys we're talking about are
insane.
Like, this is, I'm really trying to think right now. And maybe it's just that last year, I think we were almost starved for like a great rookie. Like, and we thought this is it. Like, there's so many rookies, like Alec Boehm and Joe Adele and
The
Joey, like,
list
all these
was
guys.
endless.
And then no one really hit. No, I mean, Wander
No.
Franco did, but then we had to wait till this year to finally start collecting his rookie stuff. But I mean, there's a lot of guys I like from last year, but yeah, no one really hit. Whereas this feels different. This feels like
Yes.
it's an elite level that we haven't seen this many guys called up, you know?
No, I agree. And I think a reason why the hype is a little bit different this year is because a lot of the guys last year, like I said, like you said, the checklist for these rookies were just insane. Like open any 2021 product, and it's just like every other card's a rookie card. There's so many rookies last year. But I think the big difference is like the top 10 prospects last year are pretty much the same top 10 prospects this year. Like most of the guys that got brought up last year, like top, like I think the highest was probably like Kelnick or Carlson, who was like 15-20 range. So it was like, it's a different level for these guys this year. And I'm here for it. I'm here for the hype. One other thing I did want to say really quick, Riley Green, absolute stud. I cannot wait for him to be up with the Tigers. Like 5-tool player. That dude might win Gold Glove this year if he plays enough time. Like he is so good at defense.
He made a catch in one of the spring training games. I think you know the one I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Where he went fully parallel. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm in. I'm all in on this guy.
And that was in like 40-mile-an-hour winds or something. Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
He got so good. But yeah, the prospect level is just a little bit different this year. And I'm praying they like, obviously there's going to be people that miss. Some of these guys are going to struggle. It just is what it is. It's baseball. But I just hope they all just come out and ball, because it is going to be insane. And I think the baseball hobby could like really boom off of it.
Hey, thanks for checking out this clip of Wax Packs and Warning Tracks, Mojobreak's baseball card podcast. If you want to check out the entire audio version, make sure to follow the link in the description below, or better yet, subscribe to the podcast. Search for Mojobreak Sports Card Show. That's Mojobreak Sports Card Show wherever you listen to podcasts. New episodes drop every Tuesday, and The Hype. New episodes of that drop on the same feed every Thursday. 2 for 1. Who doesn't love that? Get both podcasts, subscribe wherever you listen to them, and of course, make sure to subscribe to Mojobreak Media here on YouTube. Like the video. We've got more great content about trading cards, sports cards, the hobby, and much, much more.